Remember that time we went to the last wrestling show ever?
Ever, dude. We talk about this thing all the time, and I feel like we'll always talk about it till the end of time. How we
I
went to the
mean,
last, literally up until like there's 5 minutes before like break was over, and you had to go back to work, and like we made it just in time, literally
we got
just in
stopped.
time.
We got stopped by a train, like you said, 5 minutes before the break ended, and we were able to get her on the train just after it ended, and we made it back just in time. I
Yeah,
mean,
literally, like
like,
literally we went out for lunch. I can't even talk about it. We went out for lunch. We got the food, and we're like, hey, we're good. We got 5 minutes to spare, and we made it back to work, and then we just chilled.
so we're talking about Revolution today, and if you don't know, this happened on the Leap Day in February earlier this year. And here's the thing: when this was announced in November, I had my headphones on. I remember the moment. I had my headphones on. My back was turned to the TV. I was on my computer. I wasn't paying attention at all. I see I think I saw a reflection in my computer screen of the Revolution logo, and I turned around and I was like, "Oh, cool! This must be the pay per view they're going to announce for MSG." And I turn and I see it says Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm like, "Hold the phone!" And I'm like, "Oh, cool! Like, I guess we're having another pay per view." Me and Tommy are probably going to be the only ones that go. Like, it'll be a fun time, whatever. Tommy's here, by the way. Tommy, how's it going?
It's going well, ish.
What do you
And
mean ish?
yeah, what do you mean ish?
Well, because like this is a happy, awesome like conversation we're about to have, but then at the end of it, I'll be sad because I'm like, well, no, all out. So,
There's not anything, and
well, yeah,
I'd
true.
like to add that at this Revolution trip, I vowed not to go to All Out, not to go to Double or Nothing. Look what happened. Look what happened.
Yeah, well,
So anyway, the commercial's going on, and it shows the date, which is February, 29th. And as the thing is on the TV, I get a text from Ravi that
Before
says,
me, dude.
"Oh,
That
like
makes
I'm
no
in."
sense because I was watching the commercial in the middle of texting you.
Like, I was like, I got the text, and I was like, what is going on? Like, that Jim from The Office, like, gif where it's like, what is going on? Like, that's what was happening. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, because then you texted me, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, you know, Ravi and Justin, like, will come on the trip. Like, okay,
You
we'll
didn't say,
have to
oh,
figure
cool.
this
You
out.
text me what's happening right now.
Well, yeah, like after I processed it, I was like, oh, cool. And so, like, an hour later, I'm like, you know what? I think I think Ryan Falcone said that he wasn't going to be able to go because he's going to Disney, and at that point, I knew it was a good opportunity to kind of pull a rabbit out of my hat, and I called up Breach, who was at like Girl Scouts with his kids, and he was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Breach, what are you doing in February of what's it called, like of 2020?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, AEW just announced a show. It's going to be February, whatever. You say that you always can't go to these AEW shows over Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend because you have to work. So, if you want to come on this trip, you have a spot to stay, and we'll pick you
I
up
like
and
to
everything."
say before, like the week before you guys did your Christmas show gimmick, and me and Breach were like, I guess the main event. And he said, I haven't asked him, like, Breach, how would we get you back on a wrestling trip? And he says most of the shows usually land on like a holiday that I can't come, especially AEW.
Yeah, and this one just happened to work out. And I mean, let me tell you, can I just say that this trip was the easiest trip I've ever done, including WrestleMania 31. I mean, thankfully my parents like were able to fit in the car, and they were able to like drive around and everything. So I didn't have to worry about a darn thing. I didn't have to worry about you know, being at Starcast at this time or whatever because
There was no Starcast.
there
There was no
was,
Starfest.
yeah, it was along with the what's it called. So we picked up. Well, I guess it wasn't even.
There was no pro wrestling tee signings. There was nothing. It was just a show.
So on the Thursday, Bridge flew in because that was going to be easier for him because it was either going to be him getting here in the middle of the day on Friday or get there Thursday night. So me and Tommy, we went to the airport to pick up Breach, and that was like interesting because that was the first time I saw Breach since 2015, since WrestleMania 31. So that was crazy. And then the three of us went to the infamous card shop, Top Shelf Breaks, shout out. And that was, I mean, Tommy, like, here's the thing. So obviously, like, I've been there a couple times. Breach, like, is basically the reason you have that job. Like, what, like, I mean, you went to your work basically at like 11 p.m., 12 p.m. maybe.
Yeah, I think it was like 11:30ish, somewhere around there. And, you know, like you said, I won't go into the whole story, but basically, yeah, Breach like got me the connection, and then it went through Mike, and then, you know, it kind of comes to the point where, yeah, I got a job at this place because of Breach, basically. And it's this whole weird thing. So I knew that, you know, once I found out Breach was going to be coming to this trip, I was like, hey, shit, let's go into the shop and, you know, you can see where you got me. So it was a fun little trip, you know, like we said, it was super late at night.
I think we
My
were there till
boss
like
was
3 in the morning.
still, I don't know if it was that late, but yeah, we were definitely there into the morning. There's
I know
no
I
doubt
didn't fall
about
asleep
that.
till after 3 in the morning. That's
Yeah.
all I
And
remember.
it was, it was a long day, you know, getting to, I was going to say Woodfield, geez, getting to Midway and, you know, picking up and then coming back and all that. But it was fun, you know, it was a weird kind of situation just because it was all so preposterous in the beginning, but it was awesome.
So then on Friday is when, like, you know, I guess I say the real crazy started, but I mean, there really wasn't anything crazy. We picked up Justin and Ravi from the
We
airport
got the
like it
big
was
boys
like,
coming to town.
like it was
We got
nothing.
the all-star cast, the dream team,
Like,
the Hart
I mean,
Foundation.
everyone fit in the car just fine. There was no, you know, I didn't have to worry about driving the van. I
We
didn't
didn't.
have to.
We were like chauffeured around all around Chicago.
I didn't
We
have
were
to
going
worry
to like
about.
movie spots that I didn't know about, except the Home Alone house. We went to like all these other random spots.
Well, we went
Like went
to
around town.
we went to the United Center to see the Jordan statue.
Oh man, that was great because now you go to that Jordan statue. It probably was like a line at one point before that last dance talk.
Well,
Actually, it
then
wasn't even open. It was closed. It's probably still closed, actually.
it's probably still closed, but yeah, I mean, the atrium is open all the time, pretty much. Like obviously with the store hours, so that was. I mean, like I've seen it twice, so at that point I was like, yeah, it's the Jordan statue. Like it's awesome, but like I've seen it before. It's like the bean. I feel like it's getting to the point with the bean. Like I don't think it'll be that fast because I think the Jordan statue is a lot cooler than the bean. But you know, it's a Jordan statue.
I'm over it,
So
dude. I've seen it. I saw it all week at Lollapalooza. I saw it in 2017, 2018, 2019.
yeah, well, try living here.
Now
Anyway,
2020. I
anyway.
see it every time you see it.
Well,
I feel
yeah,
like I think
That's so
I
true.
subtract like a couple times maybe in the past 5 years. I've been with you every single time.
yeah. In the past 5 years, but before then, it was like, oh man, you know, we're going downtown. We got to see the bean. We're going like you know, go on like a trip like with school. We got to see the bean. Like you know, it's like a thing, became a gimmick. And speaking of gimmicks, let's talk about the gimmick that is Pro Wrestling Tees Store.
Did we go that first day?
Yeah, we did. We went
Yeah.
after
Oh, right. We did everything that day. Yeah.
because
Oh
we
man.
ate.
So Pro
Remember?
Wrestling Tees, straight up trash store, by the way. I'm not like, let's admit it, dude. They have a sale, right? They're like, we have a 20% off sale, AEW Revolution Weekend, in store, out store, all AEW products, right? So we go in the store. We don't expect that. We go in the actual day, like the Friday. So like most times we've gone Sunday, and like a lot of the stock is gone because they've done signings and stuff throughout the weekend, which makes sense because they can't be printing constantly because they're probably printing for the show. So we go in Friday, and still the store's not fully stocked. Like what's going? Like what? Like, what are you doing? Like why do you not have all the gimmicks? And then it's not even that busy, so we can't even order like custom shit.
I mean, at this point, I'll only go to the Pro Wrestling Tees Store. A, if there's a trip, or B, if there's like a reason to, because it's just so hard to get to. And I like, here's the thing, there's just nowhere to park, and like it just sucks. I mean, I've double parked multiple times in various areas around like the place, in front of the store, a mile away from the store. Luckily I haven't gotten towed or ticketed. But I mean, like, get like pro wrestling tees. Like, can we please look into, like, I don't know, opening up a thing in Woodfield or something? Like, there's just nowhere to park. Like, excuse me for wanting to go to your store that bad. Like, where I
There's
need to
nowhere
like
to
double park.
and stock your inventory better, dude. I shouldn't be asking for a medium shirt and you not having a medium shirt.
I don't know.
And then look at me like the audacity, like, oh, well, what do you like? Just order it online. I'm like, I'm here, dude. I'm here.
But at the end of the day, they have become the monopoly of wrestling shirts. So
It's
until
it's
someone comes
WWE, it's pro wrestling tees, and if you any other person, you're just like a bootleg store essentially.
I mean, I feel like that's, what's it called? You have two big promotions, and then you have independents. So that's where we're at right now.
But the independents look at you like, oh, like why would we buy from there? We could buy from Pro Wrestling Tees, you know?
There's so many fireworks, dude. Like, I get this for the July weekend, but calm down for 1 second. Okay, anyway. So we went to Wrigley Field, which is something that no one has done yet except for you three on this trip, because it's just out of the way, and it's just hard to get to. So that was the first, and that was one of the things where, like, I wanted to make sure that, like, Breach is most definitely probably not going to come on the next trip, next Chicago trip for the next like couple of years or whatever. So I wanted to make sure that he like got to see everything that he wanted to see, because you and Ravi, Justin, like you guys, I mean, you guys come almost every year now, so it's like,
I've been there 5 years straight.
Yeah,
the streak continues.
You'll see.
By the way, just barely made the streak continue.
Oh, I know. Like, you snuck in real quick. Like, that's what's it called? Like, when you're getting on the tollway, and you gotta beat the big truck that's in the lane that you gotta get
into.
It's
like we saw the train, but the lights weren't on the train tracks to stop, so we just went through.
You just quickly like drove across there.
Yeet.
What'd you think about Wrigley Field, Justin?
Thought it was all right. Some of it, a lot of it was covered up, so we didn't get to see too much of it.
That's true.
It was fine.
But after that, we took the long trek to the Home Alone house.
We went to the Home Alone house, and that was fun. But after we went to doing the other things, I was getting a little tired, Ski. Like, I'm like, I need a nap, dude.
Yeah.
Also, we were in the car for a long time.
It's just tiring.
Yeah. I was like, we need to start get up and move. We need to get up and start moving. So
here's the thing with the Home Alone house. So I went to the first time I went to the Home Alone house, it still had this circle driveway, where it kind of is like a U shape, and that was in like 2012 or 2013 or something like that. And then I think I went there one more time, and then I think like the third time I went to the Home Alone house. So this was like in September of this past year. Me and Tommy were going to Northwestern at school in like northern Illinois, and we were driving down this road, and I knew where we were at, but I didn't exactly know where we were at the same time. So we're driving, and I'm like, oh, that park on the left over there looks like the park that Kevin and Home Alone kind of like went on like the ice rink for. And then I turned to the right, and I see the store that Kevin ran out with the toothbrush, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh, like there's the park, and that's the store. And I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, we're gonna pass like the church. So we're driving down, and I'm like, there's the church. So then after that game, because we went for a Kansas soccer game, after that game, like we went to like the Home Alone house, because I figured, I was like, well, Tommy's never been there, so like, we're this far, we got to go see the Home Alone house. Little did I know that we would be going with everybody. We were like walking in front of it, taking pictures. That's my first time I got a picture in front of the Home Alone house, was that weekend. What did you think about the Home Alone house, Justin?
All right. You know what's funny? I watched a Home Alone movie. Right before Christmas Eve, and I remember that scene, like when the guys go and break in the house, to be like straight. I thought it was like half the movie, and it's only like 10 minutes.
It feels like half the movie, yeah, because it's like.
But when you're a kid, it feels like that's like the majority of the movie, and then breaking into the house, and you watch it like, I guess like 15 years later, and I'm like, what the hell?
It feels
It's like 10 minutes.
The build-up is not much, and then the payoff is. It feels like a lot of it. Tommy, obviously, you've been there twice now. What do you think? Is it everything you expected? This Home Alone house?
Yeah, so my main thing is like you said, that was the first time that I had been there when we went to the Kansas soccer game at Northwestern, and it was at night and it was pitch black. Like we could see the basic outline. Like you could definitely tell it was the Home Alone house, but it was dark and we were driving by and we didn't want to get out. So we just kind of saw it from the car and I was like, oh, that's sweet. And I got a really shitty blurry picture that night that I ended up just deleting because you couldn't see it. But seeing it in the light, I was like, oh man, so this really is the house. Like I was actually able to look at it and like see it in the light. But the one thing that really threw me off, man, was it didn't have, the same like the circle driveway. So when I saw that, I was like, wait, is this the Home Alone house? And obviously, like if you look at the house, it is, but without the circle driveway, it looks so different for some reason. And then if I remember correctly as well, the little garage isn't there on the left side either, which also threw me off.
Yeah, they kind of renovated everything, and they still kept like the main house the same, but they took away that. And like originally, like everything was still the same, it was just updated. They had that garage in the background because the first time I went there, the garage door was open, and I was like, "Oh man, the garage door is open!" Ha ha ha. But like, here's the thing. So like, if anyone wants to like see the Home Alone house, you can in that area you can have so many movie locations, especially for John Hughes movies, because like right across the street is in the Home Alone movie. And then, what was I gonna say? Like in person, to me, the house looks a lot smaller. But then when you watch the movie, like when you watch it back, it's like, oh, like that's not as big as I thought it. Like I thought it was. It just is a house. Like it's smaller in person. So that's that's the Home Alone house. And then after that, now the other day we had Breach and Ravi for episode 100
Yesterday.
On a podcast.
Or sorry, Friday.
That's why I just said the other day. It works a lot better. Anyway, so now that we have Tommy here to help me out here, Tommy, can you please explain to little old Justin over here that the Italian beef from Portillo's was just you just have to get it right.
It was
you
trash,
just have
right?
to get it right. And if we couldn't have gone to the number one beef place because it was like 10 o'clock. It was a lot later. Portillo's has sold in the past couple of years, so everything is a little bit lower. It's not as good as it used to be. The fries are still good. You didn't get the beef right. You should have gotten it with whatever you wanted. There's like peppers if you want.
This is horrible radio.
Right? Hold on. It's a Dave Portnoy Barstool. You get one bite. You go to the restaurant. You get one bite, and it was not even a 2 out of 10. You
can take bite over to the pizza. Like it doesn't work that way.
I don't know if you can use Portnoy as a reference.
I can use whoever I want. My podcast.
Fair.
Tommy,
there you go. Everyone knows the rule. It's one bite.
I'm a huge Italian beef guy. Like to me, I have never had an Italian beef that I haven't liked. That one, like it was a mistake to have that be the first Italian beef you guys tried. I still loved it, but I can see why other people wouldn't like it.
They didn't get it right. Like it's so hard to explain. Like I don't even know. Like read the menu under Italian beef and get it how you want it. Like
that place is trash. And I'm not gonna even. There's no defending it.
Let's get off this quick because we don't want to turn this into the Portillo's podcast. But like the one thing I'll say is you can say the beef was bad, but if you ever again say that Portillo's is trash, I'm going to assault you next time I see you.
Well, can't say that.
I said the what did I have? Onion rings were good. Ravi said the milkshake was good. The beef was bad.
Well,
All right.
speaking of things that aren't bad, so on Saturday, which is the leap day, it was the 29th, February 29th. So next year we're not going to be able to put a 1 year picture. You either got to do it a day early or a day late.
It didn't exist. Just like that, it was gone.
And so well, here's the thing, like, because that wrestling show was on that day, and we're never going to have wrestling shows that were normal again. I mean, there's just so many things that are leading up to this being the last wrestling show ever because it was on, the day that doesn't exist next year. Anyway, I walked down my stairs in the morning, and Breach was hyping up this costume that he had, or his shirt that he was going to wear, or whatever. And I see this dude, just all jean jacket, jeans. He's got the sunglasses. I never put the fact that, he can kind of pull off Orange Cassidy in the Breach way. Like, it's Breach in a jean jacket, but, I did not expect to see Orange Cassidy Breach in my living room. That's anyone?
Nah, dude. Preachers Orange Cassidy. That was it.
Yeah, I don't know how much more you can say on that. It was certainly not expected.
I spent all day taking pictures of Breach as Orange Cassidy in various places, and those various places were Chicago because we went downtown early. And Justin, I mean, you've been downtown so many times, it's not even fun anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we went downtown, right? And the one thing I haven't done is gone to the Sears Tower. So we go to the Sears Tower. It's pretty cold, right? It's pretty cold.
Yeah,
I'm used to the cold. We're all used to the cold. Breach is the only one warm for some reason, which is weird because he's only wearing a jean jacket and some cut-up jeans with some knee pads.
Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, I guess so. Everyone always says it, but I don't really see much people doing that around here. I guess you got to go more like West Coasty.
Sorry about that. Anyway.
So we go there. There's no line. We're like, oh, great. So we go buy the ticket. The lady goes, it's going to be a 3-hour wait. I'm like, there's no one here. And then she's like, go through that door. And it's like a sea of people. Like, there's definitely some coronavirus that was up in that crowd. But, so like, we were like, what the fuck? Like, and the thing is, when you go buy the tickets, it's like a whole snake of a line itself before you even get up to the ticket counter. So like, how long would it take you to go buy tickets and you have to go wait for? That's like a whole 5 to 6 hour ordeal just to go up a tower. Why?
Yeah, I can't say I'm an expert in it. I've done it once in my life, but let me tell you, when I did it in I don't even know, like 2012 maybe. Literally, we walked up to the desk and they didn't have that snake line thing whatsoever. It was just literally you walk up to the desk in the lobby, say, I was with my family, so I was like, hey, can we get 5 tickets, 3 kid and 2 adult? And we paid for the tickets. We had the tickets in our hand, and we were in the elevator going up like 3 minutes later. It was insane. And like, that's kind of what I figured it would be like because I hadn't been up in it since then. So I kind of figured it would be the same.
It wasn't even a busy weekend.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously you have all the marks, but yeah, it's not a super crazy normal holiday weekend, or it's not like there was a huge sports game in town or anything like that. It was, it was just marks. And I feel like the marks aren't going to be flocking to the Sears Tower, but I guess maybe we were wrong. Maybe it was a bunch of marks up there.
No, dude, because there's Leafs games constantly and the CN Tower not ram-packed. And the CN Tower and the ACC or the Scotiabank Arena, it's a 5-minute walk between each other, or 10-minute walk, not even.
So,
I don't know.
We really we couldn't find a place to eat, or we either couldn't agree on a place or we couldn't find a place. I don't remember what it was.
It was either too packed or too expensive. And then when we did find a place, it was too packed. And then when we found another place, it was like, this is way too overpriced for us to be going to waste this money on this food that we don't really care that much about.
So I saw that Macy's, which is the old Marshall Field building, was like pretty close. It was like in walking distance, and they have like a 7th floor big food court. And I was like, oh great, like everybody can pick what they want. Like there's no worry about like what someone wants because they can get whatever they want. Like everyone has their own choices. So we walk up to the top, and I did not expect nobody to be there. Like,
It was like our old private restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
literally nobody.
we had a VIP area, and I mean that was just like we just sat there and like wasted time until we went to like the arena. We took the Uber, and
So
that
we
was
went
like a
to the
fun
arena.
Uber.
So we
That
did a
was
little
fun.
rib ski.
Oh,
We did a
dude,
little rib ski on Mike.
can you give me like 1 second to build up
Hold on,
this
what
transition?
happened?
Let
What
me.
happened?
I had a good transition. I was going to talk about the fact that Justin, the great person that he is, he happened to get these really good seats for AEW Dynamite,
Oh,
and there was like it was third row off like in the lower
hard
level.
cam.
And I was like building up to this event. I was like, oh man, these are going to be so cool. Like we might be on TV. Like this is going to be awesome. I can't wait for this show. Like here's the thing. I'm like, because of like the match card and where we were going to be sitting, I was just so excited for the show. I couldn't I couldn't contain myself. It was in downtown Chicago. This is going to be the first wrestling event that I ever saw in downtown Chicago, pretty much in Chicago in general. And then,
So Mike is Tommy could vouch for me. Mike is like literally badgering me about these tickets every hour. We have the tickets. You got the tickets. Did you bring the tickets? We have the tickets, right? I'm like, Mike, it's fine. Even if I forgot the tickets, I could transfer any one of you these tickets out Ticketmaster, and it turns into an electronic ticket.
see,
So
that's
even
what
if I
you said.
lose a ticket,
I don't think I believed you after.
we're fine. So Mike asked me like right before we leave, and he asked me like 5 minutes before, and I tell Tommy like, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't bring the tickets. And he's like, I'm like, and then that's pretty much like it was like a rib. Like essentially, it's like, all right, here we go. So we go downtown. We're in line. Mike's Tommy's in on it. I tell Ravi about it. I don't tell Breach. So it's me, Tommy, and Ravi are in on it. And I start freaking out. Like he's like, oh, where are the tickets? No, all of a sudden I'm like, we're in line for like about 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. I don't have the tickets. And then Mike's freaking out. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't have the tickets. I'm looking everywhere. And then Tommy's looking at his pockets. Ravi's looking at his pockets. Mike's freaking out. I'm like, hold on. Call your parents. So I get Mike's parents on the phone. Mike's talking to his mom, talking about like the tickets are on the table.
On the
I can't
counter.
find on the counter. They're looking on the counter. They can't
And
find this. I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go to the box office. Figure this out.
Point, I was trying to, like, in my head, I was trying to do the math. I was like, okay, it probably takes like an hour and 30 minutes for them to like get here, and then they're just gonna have to like stay in the city for like 3 hours or something, because just this idiot Justin like forgot the tickets on the counter when I asked him all day. We could have had all day to what's it called. And here's the thing, I was about 75-25 this whole time, because I was like, okay, he's not going to actually forget the tickets, because if we got on the train and he was like, oh shoot, I don't have the tickets, like he would have said something about it. So I was already kind of like skeptical about this, and Breach was reacting in a way where he was like kind of shocked. Ravi, I didn't know if he was like actually being shocked or fake being shocked, but I thought Justin had him in like another pocket. I didn't think Tommy would like have the tickets. Like that's the whole
Oh,
thing.
I forgot to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Right when we got
handed
out
off.
the guy of the cab, I bumped Tommy and I did a little slide ski through the jacket and got them. So like like trick of hand.
So
I'm like, Tommy, take.
I like.
So yeah.
To be honest, at that point, like when we got, well, no, because I think maybe Mike was still ordering his food at the food court, and Justin and I were sitting down with Ravi, and Justin like reminded me of it, because honestly, I had forgotten about it, because the last time we talked about it was when we were on the train on the way in. So Justin like talked about it, like, oh, like what are we doing here? How are we doing this? I was like, oh shit, like I forgot about that. Good call. And yeah, I think Justin originally or maybe it was Ravi. Someone originally brought up the idea of like, oh, when we get to the arena, like someone's got to hand the tickets off to someone else so that Justin can, empty his pockets and it looks legit. I was like, oh, that's so fucked up, but I love it. So like,
My original
again,
plan was to say it in the Uber, but Tommy was like, no, wait till get in line first.
yeah, I didn't want to be in an enclosed area with a raging Piefko. I did not want that whatsoever. He's gonna end up clocking someone, and I don't want it to be me. But like, yeah, literally right when we get out of the Uber, like Mike kind of separated a bit. We dropped back a little bit so that Mike would walk a little bit ahead, and like you said, you did a little slide ski, and it went on from there.
See, and like I was thinking about like the only reason I was even the slightest mad was because we had that was the going to be the best seats that we ever had. I didn't even care about the show.
That's what makes it a
If
great rib.
Justin,
It makes it better because Mike in his head has this thing hyped up. So it's like, it was so perfect, dude.
if Justin lost the tickets, if him and Ravi, he dragged Ravi all the way to Chicago. He dragged Breach all the way to Chicago, and this idiot lost the tickets. We would have been sitting in my house. I would have been like, Justin, give me your card. We're gonna buy this pay-per-view. You're gonna buy the pay-per-view. Like,
Fine.
we would have been like, we would have had to take that sad train
No,
ride
technically
home.
no, because like I said, if I had lost a ticket, I could have transferred the tickets to
See, but
anybody.
you, when I asked you about that, you said no,
It wasn't working.
And
But the joke was the button was right there to press send, but I kept fake pressing it, saying it wasn't working.
because like if this was like 5 years ago, then I could be like, okay, like you lost the tickets, we're doomed. But because like you could have went up to the box office, and like that's why I was like walking to the box office because I was like, why doesn't this fool just go to the box office, give him
But I did go to the box
confirmation?
office. I went
No,
there.
no, no, no.
I
Give him the
waited in line.
confirmation, and you can get new tickets printed. Like
The joke was, I went in line. I went all the way, and you were following me, and then you kind of fell back. I went in line. I waited in line. Went up to the thing. I was like, "So how many tickets left for the show?" I was just trying to see if they have like 4, and they're like, "Oh, well, they have two different sets." I was like, oh, "Okay." And then I walked back. Then I was like, "Oh yeah, there's no tickets left."
I mean, here's the thing. I'm glad that you didn't do it in the cab because when you watch the videos, you could see all the people around us being like, "Did they actually
Oh yeah, it was
lose?"
so great.
So who
So,
did the reveal? I can't remember. Did Tommy do it?
well, because I walked away because I was talking on the phone with my parents and I was trying to like have them look around for him, and my dad's like
Oh
freaking
yeah,
out,
yeah.
like, and so I come back the third time. And Tommy just like has the tickets in his like he pulls
Oh,
his
we did a
sleeve
little
up
flash
and
ski,
just
and
like
then we
Yeah, it
all
was
pulls
popped.
them
the
out.
sleeve.
And I'm just like, I just had to walk away. I just
Mike,
walked
Mike
away,
was so high he walked around the arena.
and I was like, at that point, I was thinking, I was like, okay, like I was thinking like 3 things. One, do I make an entire lap around the arena? 2, it's getting pretty dark on this alley. I don't really trust it. And 3, what am I gonna do when I get back? Like, so
I was like, he's not gonna get that mad because he'll be fine because we didn't lose it. His walk is like more of like, oh, I hate you guys, but then he'll come back like, sigh of relief. The tickets are
the
here.
the walk was more, I gotta end that clip. Like
Oh,
if I don't freak out, like that's the thing. It's like if it was um like if no one was recording, it'd be like, well, okay, like fool off the tickets. I wish we were recording, kind of thing. So
what a rib, dude! What a great time.
nice
The
voice crack. Okay, so we
one,
get in the
hold
arena.
on. I want to finish this topic off real quick. The one thing that I told Justin this at the time, and I think you might even hear me say it in the clip. Like, I loved just giving a nice little clean rib ski to Mike. But once his parents got involved, I felt so fucking bad, and I told Justin and Ravi, I was like, dude, we need to end this right now because I like that for me, like, okay, that crossed the line. I was like, now we got parents freaking out that aren't part of the
Well,
rib, and it's like,
what am
all
I
right, we
supposed?
gotta end this. No,
Look
I
at it
know, I
on
don't
yeah,
blame you at all. Yeah,
Because at the end we showed his mom and dad the video and they both laughed, so it was fine.
yeah, they
Tonight?
both chuckled. So
So we get into the arena, and these fools are, and by fools, I think it was like, I think Justin ran up the stairs. Maybe Ravi. I don't know if Tommy ran up the stairs like right away. And you guys are like huddling right by like the beginning of the merch line. And I'm like, okay. you guys are just waiting here. No one's moving. So I just like slid through to the other side. There was like no one in line. I got my merch right away, and I'm just waiting for you guys. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, like, get your
Did you,
merch.
or did we fall behind you after?
No, like you like I finished, and I was there for like a good like 2 minutes, and you were still waiting in line to get your merch, and I was like, okay, well, who's the winner
And it
now?
wasn't even that bad. Our line wasn't that bad because after that we left. It got even way worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that was we
I
got
bought the
lucky.
AEW sweater, which I've worn like twice.
I'm glad
I
we got.
bought that. I didn't buy the I Was There shirt. I only bought the I Was There championship shirt.
Oh, what did I? I think I bought it all. I just bought it all. Anything that said I was there, I bought it. Let's talk about
So
these seats.
the show. The seats. 5-star seats.
Show.
Subtract the
5 stars or
the lights.
bust.
Subtract the lights being like bright in your face for like eventually you kind of zone it out. But like those seats are 5 stars.
Like
Oh yeah.
we were even with the ring, and that's what was like the best part about it. That was
Yeah, we're essentially
definitely
level.
like if I had my camera, I mean that would be like it's over. Like I would have the best pictures of all time. Like I remember figuring out that when the red light is on, like that's what camera's on. So we were like at one point trying to do like the hangman thing when the camera was on, and I was like, all right, ready, 3, 2, go! Like, going crazy with
Man,
that.
we're doing 5 stars. We're flashing up the 5.
And
Yeah.
here's the
Even
thing.
though the match was 6 stars.
Here's the thing. It wasn't until like okay, it's one of those things where, like back in the day, like with YouTube and stuff, like because I had like I was so dedicated to like making wrestling videos, like there would be a few people that would be like, oh, like 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 they would tweet me like now and then. But when random people are tweeting like including me with you guys' tweets about like, oh, hey, here's a picture of you on TV, it's like what? like that's when I got like giddy like with excitement. I was like, all right, like this is gonna be awesome. And then the clip of me jumping up and down with Cole Cabana pretty much makes his AEW debut as like a regular wrestler. I mean, like there's so many moments that were just captured that were on the recording, and obviously, I mean, Tommy, like both of us getting a good like 3 seconds of like TV
Yeah.
time. I mean, Tony Khan. Tony Khan. Let me tell you, shout out to Tony Khan. What a guy.
Yeah, making those calls at Gorilla. Camera 5, camera 3, get that kid, going fucking nuts after that one-winged angel kick out. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was once you realize that, oh shit, we're on TV all night, it was like, oh man, like this is nuts. And because I think what happened was I pulled up the live stream on my phone during the pre-show to check to see, right? And like once they switched to hard cam, I looked and I was like, oh boys, like here we go. And then I think it was maybe one of the Sonars, right? Who originally like tweeted the picture at you.
A lot of people tweeted the picture.
And then I was texting back and forth with Falcone every once in a while during the show. And yeah, after the one I referenced earlier, the one-winged angel kick out during the tag match, I had this reaction with
that should have been the finish.
Yeah, that would have been an insane finish, but obviously it wasn't, and I thought it was going to be, so I like just went complete hands on my head and just complete shocked look of disbelief, and I got a nice camera in the face for it, and right after that happened, I felt my phone vibrate like a million times in a row, and I was like, uh-oh, like I know what this means. And I look at my phone, and yeah, Falcone said, "Holy fuck, you were on TV" in all caps or something like that. I was like, "Oh,
James coming out of the woodwork."
Yeah, true.
And I remember I bought the Young Bucks Chicago shirt at the Pro Wrestling Tee store that I was gonna wear, like to the show, and so I have like one like close up of me wearing that shirt. And then I have another one during the Cody and MJF, or after the Cody and MJF, with me with my Kansas sweatshirt on. So it looks like I changed. It looks like I'm a plant that changed clothes midway through, so it looks like other people. So I mean, I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to say other than AEW does in fact pay me, and that's why I've been talking so well about them. Anyway, no.
So the show was great.
It was okay.
I don't know what else.
It was awesome.
like the tag match was great. We had Pac versus Orange Cassidy, which was way better than everyone thought.
I'll
We
say
had
this: there's
main
no
event.
show I'm going to be going to this year that's going to be better than Revolution.
Well, yeah, you're not going to any other shows.
Exactly.
We saw the title change.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
From like every single person that I wanted to win lost that show, except for John Moxley. So that was
And Britt Baker.
Well, yeah, but she was in the pre-show, so like I think she opened. She started, she won, and then John Moxley at the end. So it was like sandwiched in between, just disappointment. Which I mean, it wasn't disappointment because it was an awesome show, but and then from the moment that I realized John Moxley was wearing a different shirt with the date on the back, I was like, it's go time. Like, forget anything. Like, whatever. I need that shirt. I don't care.
Anyway, so I ran up the stairs, and it was right there. Me, Ravi got it right away.
Yeah,
we beat the
crazy.
line. And then literally that shot of John Moxley rocking up the arena and walking out, I was there. I was in that little huddle.
Trying to see. Oh, true. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, like that. I better tell Justin. I think I spammed the chat.
It was like he started talking in the ring, and I like walked up, and then I got to see the entrance goodbye. So it was like I kind of didn't miss much.
Yeah.
So that was, and then we drove home, and it was like stormy outside a little bit.
I'm trying to look AEW shirt if they're on eBay at all.
I doubt it.
I don't think John Moxley.
I think it'll probably be a bit different than obviously the 7/17/11 shirt. Like that shit went crazy, obviously, but then like the fact that Pro Wrestling Tees was still selling it after the show, like they sold it at I was gonna say Comic-Con C2E2 the next day, and then they were sending them out in random orders for like a grab bag thing. So it's not.
Oh really? I was there. They sold grab bags.
Yeah, they did. Like it was basically like they were selling off the rest of their stock of them, like just getting them out there, which, you know, I don't really care because I've never been a person to care a lot about the whole arena exclusive thing. Like to me, as long as I have it and I know like I was there, like that's cool enough for me. So it's like, whatever, you know, other people got it. But then there's part of me also where it's like, oh, fuck, man. Like you had to be there. What the hell are you doing?
So on Sunday
was like a hectic day because John Moxley champion, and he's doing a signing for 1 hour on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like, so C2E2, that's never going to happen again.
Like, for sure not.
Well, like, if it does, not like a quarter of the people will be going.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get a ticket, I guess, because that's like, you know, or they're going to have it in small rooms. Like, they're going to break it up into small rooms or something. But, I mean, we went to, not only did we go to the last wrestling trip, the last wrestling show, we went to the last, like, convention, like, real convention. You know what I mean? Like, where you didn't have to worry about anything. You didn't have to worry about, like, you know, being distant in line or wearing a mask that wasn't, like, a cosplay mask. Like, I mean, that was it. Like, we went to the last anything. Like, it's over. You know what I mean? So we met the Young Bucks. So that was fun.
We went in there, and we were going to meet John Moxley. We were trying to. By the time we even got in, the people that were there that had, like, the VIP badges, they're already in line. They already filled up the queue for, like, John Moxley, so we couldn't meet him. But, yeah, we did meet the Young Bucks.
So casually, by the way. Like, they just had this, like the greatest match of all time, and now it's just like...
they wrote 5 stars on my poster, and it was a 6-star match. So I got to get Nick Matt wrote 6 stars. So I got to Nick to write Matt wrote 5 stars, so I got to Nick to write it was 6 stars or some shit on the poster.
Or, like, cross out the 5 and write 6.
With, like, a different color, like Sharpie.
And
just put it beside his name. Where he signed it. Like, actually, it was 6.
You could tell, like, just because I didn't meet him, I was just, I was hanging out there, like, seeing the rest of you guys meet him. But, like, just, you could tell they were, like, tired, man. They were dead tired. And it was just, like, they still had that, the classic Young Bucks, like, having fun with the fans and, greeting everyone, but they were just like, they just had a 6-star match the night before, and you could tell it was wild.
And like, when I went up to them last time when I met them, they told me that Double or Nothing's gonna be in Vegas before it got announced. And then I asked them about Toronto, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll be here in July." So me and Ravi were all hyped up, like, "Oh, we're gonna see Dynamite in July."
Not anymore. So what did you guys think about that convention? Like,
I thought it was all right. Me and Tommy just hung out and walked around most of the time.
Yeah,
you met Punk.
I did. I spent it was $40 for a picture. And okay, so Ravi and Breach like had a ticket to meet Punk. I don't know why either of them like were gonna meet Punk again, because they both
I think
had Punk
Ravi
before.
just bought it for the sake of buying because everyone was going to meet him.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's why I did it, because I was like, you know what, like, and then I saw like, the other pictures that he had the mustache, and I was like, well, I met him with clean shaven Punk last year or 2 years ago, so get another picture, and I bought the Punk shirt that was just there. I was like, all right, well, give me a Punk like photo ticket and give me that shirt, and I changed real quick, so I was able to, like get an actual legit meet and greet. And I was like, you know what, we got to do the CM Punk like the cross fist like gimmick. So that was fun. And I mean, the convention like it was fine. Like there was a lot of like gimmicks to buy. And
Ward Lowe, dude. I paid to meet
I was
MJF.
gonna say, are we gonna skip
but
Ward Lowe?
I had the greatest meet and greet with Ward Lowe, dude, and a 5-star picture.
Oh, just an unbelievable picture.
You want to explain?
I'm like in before.
You want to explain, or you want to just leave it there? Like,
no, that's it, dude. I met Ward Lowe.
Okay,
I didn't mean MJF.
So basically,
Go
ahead,
through
Tommy.
this. I'll go through this. So
Dustin's not knowing what's going on.
The way the convention set up is like there's the autograph / meet and greet floor, where all the people are signing and taking pictures and all that shit. The AEW and the pro wrestling tees were kind of tucked into the near left corner when you walked in. So obviously everyone flocked there, and there's a crazy line. But as the day went on, and first was Moxley, and I think maybe Nyla Rose, if I remember correctly.
Are you all in was there?
Yeah, well, that was later though.
Okay, yeah.
But so like the big names kind of went early, and then it kind of kept going on and on. And at one point, it was MJF and Ward Lowe were doing a signing. So it was like, we'll walk over. What the hell? And as we're walking over, kind of behind this little like backdrop just off of the signing floor. So it's like off the floor. So, everyone that's out there can't see what's going on behind, but people are lining up behind there. So Ward Lowe is just walking by playing this, like just being himself, like outside of Ward Lowe. He was just, being the ultimate baby face, just going crazy with the fans, high-fiving and, like,
he was like, that was like his first meet and greet, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, but it really did seem like it, because he was just, like I said, he was going nuts, and he was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, people are cheering for me, and he was recording the fans going crazy, like, oh, man, like, this is nuts. And then just to see the transition of that to when he turned the corner onto the signing floor, and then he became, like, the Ward Lowe that from TV was hilarious. And, yeah, Justin just paying an MJF meet and greet ticket just to completely no-sell MJF, go up to Ward Lowe, say, Ward Lowe, and then get that picture. And the best part about that picture is MJF, like, threw Justin's Revolution poster off the table. Yeah, he flicked it. And then as the picture was taken, that's when that happened. So you just see the poster flying off the table in Justin's picture with Ward Lowe, and it's incredible.
Let me tell you, when I was walking, and like I think I was like ahead of you guys for some reason, and I was walking, and I see this big dude just walking towards me, and then I look at him, and I'm like, oh my god, like, and I'm like following him around the corner, like I'm gonna go ask him for a picture, and then I'm like, oh, he's with MJ. I forgot about that. I was like all excited. I was like, oh, Ward Lowe's walking around. It's gonna be a great time. Like I'm gonna get a picture, like And then I was like, he's with that fool. Like, so that was something.
Should have met him, dude. What a great time.
That wasn't. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to do what you did, but you did it, so I can't follow up with the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Yes.
have you like it was either I go first or you go first, and one of us like only one of us can do that. So I'll do that another time, I guess. I guess
Unless you're
that's
gonna meet him one day. But
stolen.
I'll always
When
have
he's
the in
world
before.
champ.
I'll always have that in before. You got
It's
picked.
true.
Man, dude, everyone's on the Wardlow train now. So
Yeah,
forget
he's been like, I started out this Wardlow thing as kind of a joke where he's like, oh, you say the name funny and he's like a huge guy and he's cool looking, but he can go, man. He's gonna be a fucking star.
I'm telling you, when he wins that world title in like a year, it's gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
So when he turns on MJF in like 6 months, that's gonna be amazing.
I hope they save it for when fans can be back in the arena because that's going to be a wild pop.
Well, yeah, the next time the fans are back in the arena will probably be the next Revolution show in Chicago. Anyway, speaking of a heel turn, later that night, fast forward, later that night, we just got Ravi and Breach like going
Forgot
down
about the
in
pizza.
my.
We had that pizza, dude. It's pretty good.
We've had pizza before, but we haven't had Ravi versus Breach just happening in my living room. Like Breach like fell to the ground, and I was like, all right, it's time to go outside. And we had this like I think it just rained earlier or something because like the grass was kind of wet, and like I mean all bets were off. I got attacked at one point. Ravi was like throwing shoot punches at me, and there was a guy walking his dog. The guy was walking his dog, and Breach was like, "Oh, like we're just we're just playing around." He's like, "All right."
Well, you're short selling this. So this started off. We were watching like old manias, right? We were watching Batista matches and stuff.
that was that.
No, but that's how that started. And then, we started getting into the Pink Whitney as, Ravi and I do.
Yeah.
We're carrying on the tradition from me, Ravi, and Ryan. Was that All Out?
I'll tell you
It
what,
had to be All Out.
I kept my own that night with my Pink Whitney and my bubbly.
Yeah, we started with Pink Whitney, a couple shots of that, and then we had a little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, and we had those spicy chips.
Oh God. And yeah, we went back to the Pink Whitney after the bubbly. So we were like, oh God, what the hell? And then Ravi, yeah, he bought these spicy ass chips. It's like one of those like, spicy challenge YouTube video chips. And he bought that at the garage when we were being kind of, shepherded around Chicago on the way back. And it like everyone just kind of forgot about him. And then, yeah, Ravi pulled him out. And he was like, all right, like, let's do it. And just alcohol and spicy chips just, for me, did not mix well. And it was a disaster. But, like, yeah, it all started with, Ravi and I trying to carry on the Ryan Falcone tradition. And then, yeah, it just evolved. And they started having a match in the living room. And then it was like, yeah, okay, it's time to go outside and not break the house. And then, legendary things happened.
Let me tell you, like, I don't like getting drunk. Like, I like having, like, I'll have a drink, and I'll joke about, like, oh man, I had like 3, like, oh man, it's crazy. But, like, that night, I felt it. Oh, I felt it big time. Like, I mean, I think I finished that one bottle, like, and like Ravi freaked out. I was like, "What's that? That's not a shot!" Like, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm gonna finish the bottle off. It is what it is. But when I'm like in the mud, like as the referee, you know what I mean? Like in the grass, like going all out on this referee gimmick, like that there's something like there's. I mean, I'm not in right place of mind.
Yeah, it was. I'm with you, buddy.
I mean, let me tell you. So that's the last wrestling trip ever.
So Monday.
So we're just
What?
no selling Derby all in, huh?
Yes.
That's just a meme in itself. I can't really explain it.
There's two. The thing with that night is like if you weren't there, you got to watch the videos, and the videos tell all. Like, you know what I mean?
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
The joke is me recording that. I was just to record a clip, and I never got to change the angle of the video, so it's just a vertical video the whole time.
Just sad when you think about it. Just sad
Yeah,
for
it's tough.
someone who's so big into getting those clips and filming every single thing like WrestleMania. What was it, 30? Man, just sad. Anyway, you were saying?
Monday, we go home thinking we're gonna see Mike in a month. We dropped Breach off. Say goodbye to Breach. We'll see you in 5 years. And so me, you, and Ravi went to go to IHOP, hung out, and then you dropped us off, and that was it.
And that was it for the foreseeable future.
And that whole trip was, hey, look at us. Who would have thought, not me, of us coming to Chicago in February. And now it's like, hey, look at us. Who would have thought, not me.
I was supposed to see you in like 30 days, less than 30 days.
Yeah, literally 1 month.
I mean, like, I wasn't even that sad leaving that trip because I thought about, like, oh man, like, I'm going to see you in a month. It's not going to be a big deal. So it kind of worked to my favor because I was like, oh, like, I'm not sad. Like, it's going to be great. 30 days, Tommy was the one that was sad, and he had that, like, depressing walk.
I was dead.
Garage,
Yeah, it was like, oh, I'll see Mike in a month. It's fine. I get another like 6 days off in a month.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Revolution. Yeah, that was tough.
So that was Revolution, the last ever wrestling trip known to date.
Ever.
And that's it. So
we're out of here. Actually, 1 month ago, what was it? So April, May, June, July. So 4 months ago today, I think, was when we left.
And that's it.
We'll talk
to you in the next one.
For a while.